In last week's video, we shared some really big news with you guys, but we did leave you hanging.
After 3 years of full-time RV life, we decided to move into phase 2 of Til Further Notice, and that is to buy an RV home-based property.
Well, there we are, we're Floridified.
And this week, we're going to tell you what property we got. And you might think we're a little bit nuts, a little crazy, a little bonkers. I'm Tammy, and this is my husband Scott. We are two artists who, when faced with mounting health challenges, decided life's way too short. So we sold our home and most of our stuff to move into a home on wheels. And along with Gracie and Jasper, we've hit the road full-time in search of new landscapes, experiences, and friends. We'd love to have you join us as we navigate our way through this RV lifestyle, and until further notice, our mission is explore, create, and inspire. I just wanted to share with you the very first sunrise from our very first night on our new property. Usually Scott's the one that gets up early in the morning, but he's sleeping. I tried to make him wake up and look at his very first sunrise, waking up for the very first time from the RV on our property, but he wasn't having it. I'll try again.
Good morning, beautiful. Yeah.
Don't you want to see the very first sunrise from the first morning in the RV on your very own property?
I guess since you're gathering video evidence.
I'll turn the camera off so you can look out the window.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll wait for it to turn off.
Okay. Alright, it's off, I promise.
That's right, we decided to buy a home-based property in Florida. We're going to spend the winters here. And if you're curious why we made that decision, just check out last week's video. The link is up above.
But don't worry, for all the people that were worried we're not going to keep vlogging, we're going to keep vlogging. For those of you that worried we're not going to keep RVing, we're definitely going to keep RVing. One of the main factors in our decision was that this would afford us a more sustainable long-term RV life, more balanced. And so yeah, we're still going to be RVing, we're still going to be camping, we're still going to be vlogging. Except now, during the winter, we're going to be somewhere warm, and during the summer, we get to travel the rest of the country when the weather's great. This is Ray's mustard. Oh my gosh. It's the last stone ground mustard place in the United States, and it's in Maine. And when we were in Maine, we discovered it, and it's like the caviar of mustard. Amazing.
Okay, we'll hold everything because on my handy dandy weather station here that Tammy bought me, it's 90 degrees outside, 60% humidity, which gives us a feels like index of 99.8 degrees. And it's a little warm to be out here in the RV without any air conditioning. Should we go find someplace that's a little bit cooler?
It's way too hot. All right. While we won't be disclosing our exact location for obvious reasons, you know what I mean? We are going to share with you the kind of properties we looked at and what we ended up with.
Initially, we thought the perfect thing would be vacant ground, park your RV where you want to park it, and kind of take things as they come.
Yeah, that was a fun, creative idea because you could build a barn dominium, a tiny home, a container home, you know, all sorts of things could come of that. But the cost and the time associated with doing that concept or that idea was way too much on both ends. Way too much budget, way too much time, and we don't want to spend all our time building. We want to be traveling and RVing, and this is supposed to give us more balance. So the raw land got crossed off the list
pretty quickly. So if you've been watching our videos for a while, you're going to see that we have stayed long-term in some pretty cool private campgrounds, private RV parks where people own the property, and it's been awesome. So we gave a great deal of consideration into buying it private RV site.
Some of them are rentable, so when you're not there, you could bring in some income stream and rent them out.
And that would be really a sweet deal.
And all of the ones we stayed at, we felt really safe and secure, so it's really easy to come and go as you please. They have great amenities like the river right outside your door, the bike trail right out. I mean, swimming pools, group activities.
Yeah, and the social aspect of the private RV parks is kind of a double-edged sword, because on one hand, we've really enjoyed meeting a lot of people and having activities, doing things that we never would have done otherwise. And on the other hand, we don't play pickleball, and we tend to stick to ourselves a little bit more. And
we just need a little more privacy and space around us. That's just how we are. We may seem like outgoing people, but we're pretty shy.
And a lot of the private RV parks have tiny homes and park models on them, and we gave some pretty serious consideration to doing that.
When we got to looking at those ideas, we quickly realized that for the same price as what lots and park models are going for these days, we could get a little more land, a little more space, and a little more house.
That really kind of naturally brought us to the direction that we did go.
What's happening up there, tall man?
We're gonna go to visit the little house out on the swamp.
We're gonna begin the journey into what would it look like to have a home base in Florida and an RV to travel with. Starting today with an adorable little historic home on a swamp.
With you, the sun is shining 24/7. 'Cause when we're together, it feels like we're in heaven. If
What's your first impression?
It's dreamy. It's like a painting right outside your back door. The house is adorable. There's room to park the RV if we can get it in here. Houston, we have a problem. Scott is infatuated with this historic home on the cypress swamps. I never thought that you'd be the one talking me into the adorable historic cottage.
I'm not talking you into it at all. I'm just pointing out how overwhelmingly favorable the idea is.
You realize it's only 200 square feet bigger than our fifth wheel.
Yeah. $300 a square foot. Oh, yeah, maybe a little more.
We put an offer in on the teeny weeny house on the swamp. What did you call it? Scott's already writing poetry about the property, and
yeah,
we don't know if we're gonna get it. There's multiple offers on it, so slim, but you never know.
We're gonna have a little sign out front that says Cypress Oaks Studios.
But it's a perfect mix of a little winter home base, and then the RV would be our summer travel mobile. So yeah, we found the perfect tiny home.
Historic,
had property, could have the RV right next to the bike path. It wasn't quite in the area we wanted, but all those other things were so charming that we gave it our best shot to try to get that property.
Yeah, we were pretty smitten by it. I was pretty smitten by it.
It's like he's fallen in love, and it's not with me.
I did write some poetic language about that property this morning. I wanted to make an offer right there on the spot when we went to see it the first time, and we held off and kind of twiddled our thumbs for
1 night.
24 hours, and it was too long. And next thing you know, we're in a bidding war, and we didn't win the bidding war. So
We were in second place. They would let us know if anything changed, so we didn't get it.
okay.
Sorry.
Well, are we smarter? I think we're smarter.
We're smarter. That just means something else is meant for us.
Yeah, everything happens like it's supposed to, and had we bought that property, shoot, may have run into a few water moccasins and alligators on that property. There's a lot of advantages to not being on waterfront.
Especially Cypress Swamp waterfront.
Yeah,
It was beautiful.
but it was pretty.
It was so picturesque.
All right, we've been stringing you guys on long enough. We're going to tell you a little bit about the property that we did buy, and we're loving it.
There goes a bunch of our money. But we're not going to be in debt still. Yet. Until we start fixing it up.
We own real estate.
Again. We bought a beautiful 2-acre property on the nature's coast.
On the streets made of gold. No more stupid excuses why we didn't do this.
And a manufactured home with no air conditioning in Florida, and it needs a lot of work.
And Gracie loves doing zoomies all over the property.
Let's go miles away to brighter days. Let's live in the moment. Don't dip our toes in, make a great.
And we're not that far from the coast, and this is hurricane country, so what could go wrong?
And fire ants. Lots of ants biting me. Let's move. Yep. We bought a fixer-upper.
Yeah, well, glass half full, glass half empty. I kind of view it as a blank canvas for an incredible RV home base launch pad. In the coming weeks, we're going to drag you right through this project with us. We're going to show you probably things that might scare you a little bit.
Oh my Lord. We have to sell a place, babe. It's like I just walked into a horror movie.
And out came a nest. And you're going to get to see Tammy climb up ladders and strap on tool belts and do some creative work of her own. She's good at caulking.
I think you need to buy me one of those automatic caulking guns.
Yeah.
Because my hands are hurting a lot.
After I've witnessed your talents with the caulking gun, we're going to get you the best one we can find.
At the very least, we're gonna still try to inspire and entertain you.
Yeah.
Because that's what our vlog's all about. Living your life to the fullest. And there's so much around us that we have yet to discover and explore.
Is this the end of Till Further Notice? I don't think so.
This is the
Au
only
contraire.
the beginning.
Yeah.
Only the beginning. Good morning. It's really quiet and peaceful out here. But I have come to the conclusion that I may never see Scott again. Because we moved to a property with a house that needs a bunch of work. No more morning cuddles or foot rubs. Nope. He's just MIA. In the house working. But there is a benefit that I forgot existed when you live on a couple acres with a little bit of privacy around you. And that is, I really enjoy being able to go outside without putting a bra on. Sorry for any of you that might be offended by that comment, but I gotta say, as a woman, it's a pretty big perk. I'm enjoying my walking outside without having to harness the girls. Alright, off to find Scott.
Good morning.
I'm just telling everyone how I'm never gonna see you again.
Lots of work to do. Lots and lots and lots.
Are you forgetting something?
Good morning.
Just because we have 2 acres.
Good morning.
Thank you. Jeez Louise. This is what's gonna happen, folks. If you give up full-time RVing, you're gonna lose your husband. Alright, back to the RV. It's a mess.
I mean, I'm going to go in one last time and just make sure that Floral City is still pending, and it is. This is like we're picking a spouse and we're getting married, but at the same time we're looking at somebody else right up until the wedding day. I mean,
We're gonna marry you, but we're in love with someone else.
yeah. So we need to stop that. I mean, this is going to be a great home base for us, and in so many ways, it's better than Floral City. It's going to be, it's got room to spread out. It's going to be great to entertain family and friends, and I'm feeling really good about it. So
Even though it's not the poetic cypress forest?
there's some poetry.
Not really.
No, there's some poetry for this one. We haven't come up with a name yet, so we need a name. I mean, we're going to be living 8 miles from the Gulf Coast in a mobile home. What could go wrong?
Let's go.